Hey gang, welcome back to the Get House Fitness channel. I am Janet / She Gathers Wellness, and I'm going to show you how I made these vegan crab cakes and hush puppies. This was my birthday meal. So yeah, let's jump right into it. It's easy peasy, I promise. So we are going to use hearts of palm, and it doesn't really matter if you get the ones that are cut up or not because you're about to chop it up, but those were the ones I found. Some chickpeas, that's about half a can of chickpeas, and the whole can of the hearts of palm. Some panko, maybe 3/4 cup. This is unmeasured. It's one of those cook with your heart type things. This is bell pepper and jalapeno. I really wish I would have added more jalapeno, but I didn't. This is vegan mayo and some Dijon. Next up, we're going to add some seaweed. That'll give it that crabby flavor. We're also going to adjust the camera, and then we're going to pulse it up, and not completely taking out all of the texture, because you know crab cakes do have some texture to it, but making sure that it is starting to combine. Then we're going to add sea salt and pepper. We will also add Old Bay, but I call it Old Bay, so we're gonna add Old Bay. Then from there we will add garlic powder, onion powder, dill, and smoked paprika, and some cayenne. Look at that garlic powder going everywhere. My onion powder was on its last leg. Once all of our seasonings are in, we will pulse and combine it one more time. And that's why we didn't want to really break it down the first time, because you're going to do it once more. And you just want to make sure that it can hold itself together, so it's not just falling off of the spatula, and when you press it, it firms into itself. So that's what we wanted to check. We're all good to go. From here, we're going to go ahead and start forming them into the crab cake. I wanted to say Krabby Patty, into the crab cake. I'm using a biscuit cutter here just to make sure that they were all uniform and that I put just about the same amount in all of them. So I filled it about halfway up, maybe a little over halfway, and then pressed it down to make sure it was all firmed together. Then I remove the ring and just make sure the edges go back in, because when you pull the ring up, it kind of drags the ingredients up with it. And then you just rinse and repeat. So I did that for the rest of them. And I believe this made 6. Oh, maybe it made 5. Maybe I stretched it into 6. I don't remember. No, I think it made 5. And I just added the rest of that in the food processor to the tops of the other ones. So if you make them smaller, you can of course make more. Make them smaller or thinner. You'll make more patties. So after we do this, I put them in the freezer so that they can firm up and they don't just fall apart as soon as they hit the oil. So while that's in the freezer, we're gonna work on our little remoulade. So for the remoulade, we're going to use mayo and Dijon. We will use minced garlic as well as some agave, lemon, and then the seasonings are salt, pepper, smoked paprika, dill, and Frank's hot sauce, or any hot sauce. I just like the flavoring of Frank's because as I grew up, when we had like fish fries and stuff, that was the specific sauce, Frank's or Tabasco, that we used on the fish. So it just, the flavor profile fits crab cakes for me. So we will combine all of that. Did I say lemon? I might have missed, no, I said lemon. I'm almost certain I said lemon. Anyway, so we're gonna combine all of that and then just check the texture. If you need it a little thinner, you will at that point add water and check for your seasoning. Of course, you add water, it'll thin out whatever seasoning profile you had. So we just check as we go. And then that'll be our easy remoulade. The sooner you make it, the better it is, because all of the ingredients and spices can kind of break down and become friends. So I would suggest making it as soon as you put the crab cakes into the freezer, or even the day before if you have the hindsight to think about it. So I tasted it and I determined that the profile didn't have enough bite to it. So I added a little more lemon, and I believe I'm gonna also add more salt, pepper, and smoked paprika, maybe also garlic. But like I said, check your seasoning and make sure it's leaning the way that you prefer for that meal. And sometimes maybe you want a sweeter tasting one, or you want it to have more dill, or whatever the case may be. Just taste it and make it how you want it. Fabulous. So quick and easy remoulade sauce. Next up, we will make our Hushpuppies. So for our Hushpuppies, we have cornmeal and flour, and that's in this bowl here in the center, the cornmeal and flour. We also have baking soda and baking powder. We have a flax egg here. We also have red onion and jalapeno, and we have green onion, and then we have our quote-unquote buttermilk. So for the flax seed, it's basically 2-to-1 for flaxseed to water. So that's what my flaxseed is. And then my buttermilk is a cup of nut milk with, let's say, a tablespoon of ACV. You also could do it with lemon, but sometimes lemon is a little bit too bright, so the apple cider vinegar goes a little better. So that's that. And I did start with about a cup of cornmeal and a cup of flour, so like a 1-to-1, and then everything else you can do to your liking as far as the add-ins and the spices. So your base for this will be 1-to-1 cornmeal and flour, at least a cup of nut milk, and then add in your ACV or lemon juice to turn it into buttermilk, and then a 2-to-1 on the flax egg to make your flax egg. So we put that together, and now we are taking the crab cakes out of the freezer, and they probably stayed in there maybe 60 to 90 minutes. And then we are going to shallow fry them in some oil. I actually could have put a little less oil in there because of course once you add a few, the oil level rises, but hey, it's a birthday meal, so let's eat fried food. So yes, this is them browning up. They held together pretty well. It kind of depends per time I make them whether I wish I would have put more panko or not, but yeah, they held together okay. And now we're going to fry up the Hushpuppies. You can make them all uniform, or you can just do kind of like how they do drop biscuits, like spoon it and drop it in the oil. So this is them coming out of the oil looking all gorgeous. This was a good meal, and it's pretty easy to make. So this is the finished product of the crab cakes and the Hushpuppies, and this is it all done with the sauce on top, an extra dill, fresh dill, and hot sauce. Last time I made this, I also made a tartar sauce, which is really good to dip the Hushpuppies in, so I would suggest a vegan tartar sauce as well. And yeah, we just set that on top of some arugula and called it a day. Thanks for watching.